And we are live.
We are live. See if we are live. Reloading. Joop said, you have to tweet it, right?
I tweeted it, yes.
Oh, you tweeted it already?
Oh, we are very live.
Let's discuss. Finally, okay. Someone says we are live, apparently.
Finally, we are live, yes. Let's move that to over there. Whew. Let's wait for a little moment till the first people are there.
Yeah, let me quickly retweet your tweet. Oh, and it just went live on Twitch. Yay.
Hype, 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 hooray. Nothing to hype, we're just doing a boring, geeky discussion stream.
Oh.
Shall we start?
Yeah, let's see if we can pull this off. Yeah, we, for those not knowing, we made a stream already last week. By the way, Cube Hamster, let's excuse himself. He had something important in real life coming up, so he won't be attending. Maybe we get someone else attending later. We'll see. And so this stream is about quasi-connectivity. And for those not knowing, it's quasi-connectivity is a bug that became a feature about 3 years ago. The according bug post got resolved as works as intended back then because the technical community liked what they could do with it. And yeah, it affects pistons, dispensers, droppers, and we'll show what happens with them, how they can be activated, etc. later. But yeah, it's because of this tweet here by Jeb. He said that someone from a developer from Minecraft Pocket Edition is working on a bug block. And so now the technical community is worried that that would mean quasi-connectivity removal in Minecraft PC and many builds, many advanced technical builds, mainly I would say.
Indeed, in the last stream we already covered a lot of things that you could build with or without quasi-connectivity, and where it would be really useful to keep things more compact. And we built up more things over there, and also some things with droppers on the other side there that we will show today. Also, yeah, we had a lot of feedback. Thank you, and we will try to break down the main things that were brought up in the whole discussion around it.
Yeah, and this might not be the last stream, so please keep on coming with your arguments or with your contraptions or something along the lines, because Moang got an open ear, or Moang Microsoft. They want to know how you are using survival redstone. What would you like to have as feature, and they don't want us to lose anything or something along the lines. That's how I understood it here. You can see it also from the MCPE developers said I would hate it if certain things would no longer be possible in Minecraft. So they are open for any suggestions, and it's now up to us to somehow support them to find something cool for the tech community. And you're down here?
Yeah, I accidentally teleported down.
Okay.
So I think we will just start with the basics again. What is quasi-connectivity, in case people join who are not that familiar with it, right? So actually, I probably can explain it better if I fly over here, because that's where I built up the stuff.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
It's okay. Like so, yeah. Oh yeah, also I should mention we have a world one half with quasi-connectivity, one half without. So the thing is, a block gets powered if there is, or gets activated if there is a powered block on either side, like a redstone lamp. You could power it from these spots here. and it would get activated if any of these blocks would be powered. Now for pistons, that's the case as well, just that, and dispensers as well. For pistons and dispensers, that's the case as well, just that they have a little special thing to them, that if the block on top of the piston is powered, it also can get activated by that. So you can see the red blocks here would be the blocks that would power the block on top of the piston. And when it's powered from there, that's what is called quasi-connectivity. And yeah, you can see it here. This piston, if I update it, gets extended, even though the block is 2 blocks on top, or you can see it even better here, this piston is extended because it's powered by this block up here. If I remove the block, it's not powered anymore, but it didn't receive an update yet. And as soon as I place something next to it, it receives an update and retracts again. And on the other side of the world here, where we have the brown squares, that is not the case. You can see I can update it, and it won't extend because yeah, there's no quasi-connectivity here. It only can get powered from these blocks. And yeah, we have a lot of examples here, but I think we should first get into what extended connectivity is, because that was brought up on the Reddit by Redstone helper, and I think it's something that's quite relevant to the discussion, because what we compared here is quasi-connectivity against non-quasi-connectivity. But there's also the possibility to, I should get to this side, and place it in the negative coordinates. The possibility is that you could keep the behavior, or a lot of the behavior of quasi-connectivity, but remove the weirdness of it, that if I place like a block up here, that it doesn't react until it receives an update, like that. You could remove that, and I simulate it with command blocks here. So yeah, that it just gets really powered from up there, and that it receives an update. And that could be a possible thing that Moang is looking into. So yeah, I wanted to bring it up and ask the technical community what they think of that. And I think it would already leave a lot of possibilities that we use quasi-connectivity for at the moment. But it also would remove a few. I tweeted earlier something. Let me just bring it up because that's basically my note. I tweeted earlier.
Sorry, can you move him?
Move who?
I don't. On Cabo.
Oh wow, he made it early.
User was moved to your channel.
Should I just move him in the streaming channel? We are not even in the streaming channel. We are live, Cabo.
Hey.
We are live. Don't say anything wrong. Hi, Cabo.
Everything is wrong.
Hold on.
So let's get back to this here.
Oh, sorry. Cabo just joined TeamSpeak and setting it up.
So do you want to join in-game as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Could you stand, or shall I?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay, I need to get the IP.
I will just continue with where I was going with the extended connectivity thing, where you basically have quasi-connectivity with an update, and I think that's something worth discussing because worth it.
Not worth.
Not worth discussing. It's worth it discussing it as an alternative to the two things that we discussed so far, because Moang doesn't want to break things, but I'm pretty certain by now that they want to remove quasi-connectivity or not add it to the other versions, which in return with the feature parity between the versions probably would mean that it might get removed from PC at some point. So instead of freaking out, we should try to see the situation chill and try to find possible solutions how we can keep doing the stuff that we can do already, right? And extended connectivity might be one of the possibilities of that, and that's why I think it's important to bring that up. Again, huge thanks to Redstone Helper, he brought it up on the Reddit. So, as I tweeted earlier, the quasi-connectivity features, in quote-unquotes, are powering things from above, like that. And then the other thing that quasi-connectivity is used for is to power or unpower things without an update, so that you can later apply an update to it, and then later it retracts. And I think these two uses are really all we use quasi-connectivity for. Of course, there are more complicated things where these simple concepts are used in, but that is the two features that we want of quasi-connectivity. I guess in really rare cases it might also be that we want both of them combined, but I think mainly it's the two separated, that we can see them separated. Yeah, and that's something we should try to get in case quasi-connectivity ever gets removed. And Moang doesn't want to break things, then they should add both of these possibilities back in. That's why I think that this separation between the two features of quasi-connectivity is really important, that also Redstone Helper pointed out with extended connectivity. Let me just bring up the chat again. So, let's see. I will just see... how can you join Panda?
So generally, a thing that is also probably important to mention from what I figured, it seems to be that on Pocket Edition they are trying out things. They have possibly not such a huge old technical community. That means they are still free to change stuff. That means if they add anything, don't freak out. Doesn't mean neither positively nor negatively. It may be that they are still like fiddling around with this stuff, so it doesn't mean like the first version that you see that it will come into PC. They are trying out stuff, and if they think that something works better on PC, they might take the PC version, but it's up to us to make these suggestions, so don't see anything as fix or forever or something like that. If you can just help to make Redstone better, basically. Oops.
Indeed. So it was just asked how I simulate the extended connectivity here. And that's simply by two commands. The first one fills a huge area here with barrier blocks. And the second one, executed right after it, replaces the area blocks with air again. It's a bit laggy. If I bring up the thing here, you can see how the frames spike here. And if I turn it off, I got way better frame rates. But it's good enough to show it just for now. I'm actually not sure how easy or hard it would be to code extended connectivity. I guess you would have to... It wouldn't be hard. No, it wouldn't be hard. It would be easy. You would just need to cause additional updates, potentially only on Pistons.
At the end of the stream, we will also say a few more possible solutions to make everyone happy. More or less, I mean, you already sort of started it, but just to have all the arguments that the community brought up regarding a possible change, I think that's also very important then to mention, because extended connectivity would not be like the only thing or possible thing to do, but we will just look into the all of the built-up constructions, I guess, at first. And Cabo, where are you?
I had to restart. Actually, this is the first time in a long time I've used Minecraft on this, so I had to remember my password.
Let's watch Cabo, how he has trouble moving around because he didn't play for so long.
On this device.
What?
This device? What?
On this device, I see.
Hold on. Can you op Cabo?
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
should already be.
Are you?
I think so.
I think he is, yeah.
I inserted.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. I remember we built up the redstone stuff with glass over here, and yeah, so he should be opt. Extended quasi-connectivity is easier to understand, but it's just dumb. I mean, there's some logic in Pistons not getting fully powered when connected to redstone diagonally, but extended QC yeah. I actually agree. I don't like extended connectivity much either, but it might be the best we get because it's easier to understand and kind of as a compromise. And I just think it's important to consider all options here. I think it would be the cleanest if you would remove quasi-connectivity altogether. Let's be honest. Quasi-connectivity is really weird, and why should the positive y-coordinate have this special behavior that if you place blocks there that, on this side it doesn't, but if you place blocks there that they can keep it powered and that they don't update it, it's just super weird. We are used to it and we like it and we use it in a lot of builds, but it's super weird.
That's the thing. We use it since like it became a feature like 3 years ago, and the technical community heavily relies on it in many builds. It makes some builds smaller, more compact, not so messy. We will see that also in some other builds. Some things might not be possible at all anymore. Some slime block technology, etc. So I can understand, of course, why people want to keep it, but keep it in mind, it is a bug. Even if it's now a feature, it is a bug. And Moang wants to remove all bugs, or has to remove all bugs, and doesn't want to code any new bugs into super squeaky clean versions like the Windows 10 version or the MCPE version. So you can't like force them to code in some bugs. So that should you also keep in mind. So Cabo, say something. You are the one.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Your input. What do you think?
I didn't make quasi-connectivity.
It's not my fault. Nice first statement. So Raghu just said regarding extended connectivity, I'm mostly worried about the additional strain on the on the computer. Redstone Dust already updates a lot of blocks.
It's a bug post. They want to fix it. I hope they will.
Well, yeah, the Redstone Dust updates so many blocks. That's something to look in to another time. But yeah, over here we built something up. We thought of an algorithm, Cabo and me, and that's what we have left of it. But that's another story. But yeah, it would of course cause more stress on the computer if you would do extended connectivity. That's true. That's a good point. Redstone Dust causes 15 times more updates than it needed. So yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Yeah, it's on Mojira. It's already assigned to the developer, but might take some time to be fixed. But they are working on it.
Another thing, yeah.
I think it may be way more than 15 times.
Yeah, I think it was like 200 and something or so.
Well, it depends on how big you make something, right? But
yeah,
it might be more than 15 times because of the updates jumping back and forth and stuff like that. But I haven't looked into that myself. We just looked into an algorithm that would not cause too many updates. We didn't actually look at how it's done at the moment.
Right.
So yeah, it's just from what we heard. Another comment regarding extended connectivity, and yeah, I find those really interesting because it's a new thought, and just want to see what people think of that. Is extended quasi-connectivity would keep a lot of features and actually remove some annoyances. It would have been useful when I was building my latest farm. Okay, so we got a positive comment on it as well. So yeah, how should we continue here? Should we just start showing the piston stuff again? I mean, we built up more piston stuff than last time, or should we start with the dropper and dispenser stuff? Because I think droppers and dispensers are something where quasi-connectivity is rarely used and mostly annoying. I mean, there is uses of it, but I don't think there would be that much of an outcry if it was just removed for droppers and dispensers.
I also think piston is the main issue here.
Yeah, definitely.
For the tech community.
So should we maybe go real quick over the droppers and dispensers and see how much people disagree with our opinion on that?
Yeah, let's get over it. So the only thing that I personally found so far is like the silent butts.
Which would be really impossible, yeah. So let's start at the front here. That is, we are on the quasi-connectivity side here. And what is this thing, Mary?
It's a silent minecart direction detector, which is only here. This side is with the quasi-connectivity by Gundershot. So you got your eyes on the correct place, yeah. So
yep, that turned on, and now on the other way it turns on this way. Generally, I think dropper and dispenser budding is mostly used for silent stuff, because other than pistons they don't make a noise, and that's their advantage. But yeah, that's on the other side
this
here.
side,
It doesn't
of
work
course.
because it doesn't get budded. You see no lamps trigger. So
Yeah, the redstone limbs are to visualize if it works.
the new buds would be silent. Could be silent. Yeah, they probably would be silent. But would they? I guess they. No, that wouldn't be the same here. That still wouldn't work with it, because we rely on quasi-connectivity to get the dispenser into the budded state here. But yeah, I built up the same thing without any reliance on quasi-connectivity here. You can see it doesn't even contain any pistons or droppers or dispensers. So it works on this side.
It's more ugly.
Yeah, I'm not a redstoner. I'm sure people can make it better.
Aside
It
from
might
that,
not be.
of course, there are awesome redstoners who can make stuff really, really compact, but and there are also, of course, exceptions. But if I learned anything from this whole thing, then it is that with quasi-connectivity, you can do a bit more, how should I put it, sophisticated stuff, like complex stuff, a little bit more simple and more pleasing to the eye. So without quasi-connectivity, it's like usually a little bit bigger or messier. So even if it is possible also without quasi-connectivity, it's not as cool or as appealing or as simple. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure you could make this thing more compact. It's maybe not based on repeater locks, but
yes,
yeah, it's just in this case, not generally. Yeah, absolutely
generally,
right.
So.
So it was just asked what is quasi-connectivity. So really quick, a piston can get powered from the block above. If the block above is powered somehow, for example from the side here, then the piston is powered as well, but it doesn't receive an update, and that's what we call quasi-connectivity. As soon as I cause an update somehow, the piston will extend. Same thing on removing it. Now the power source is removed, but there's no update yet, and now there was an update. The good way to see if something is powered by quasi-connectivity is just to place a redstone lamp on top of it, and if the redstone lamp is lit up, then the thing is powered by quasi-connectivity. This thing here, to get back to it, of course also works without quasi-connectivity on the other side. What about dropper elevator? We get to that in a moment. I wouldn't mind much with droppers and dispensers. Yeah, I think that's a general thing that most people won't mind that much about droppers and dispensers, because they are not that important. Pistons are really the thing we utilize a lot using quasi-connectivity. Over here we have something else that would break, and that's Silent Magic Button by Deco the Redstoner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based on the button budding the dropper down here, and then we have a clock next to it that updates it, and that then sends the item over and triggers this thing. And without quasi-connectivity, the dropper wouldn't get budded by the quasi-connectivity, and it doesn't work. So yeah, silent buttons and silent buds would break if quasi-connectivity would be removed from droppers and dispensers. So, and it was already asked, dropper elevators. Let's just jump through the stuff here. Silent dropper elevators, I guess, is the thing. So we have quasi-connectivity on this side, and you can see the items just silently get moved up. And we have no quasi-connectivity on this side, and you can see the items just get silently moved up. So no problem, works with and without quasi-connectivity. There is designs which need quasi-connectivity, but it's not necessary. The way this design works is that the repeater here powers the lowest block, then also the one on top, in the right order already. And then while the repeater down there is still powered, the next repeater powers this one, and then this one, but this one triggered already, so it won't click. and then the next one on top, and so on, and it repeats.
Yeah. You can see from optically, it's not like more bulky or anything. It's like all good like it is.
Well, it is.
It works.
The way it's
Yeah,
built up here, it's a little bit more bulky than the designs
not
you
much.
see, I think,
It-
but
it's
not much exactly.
compared to other stuff we built up, it's a lot.
It is also, again, it is probably not the most compact design what I built here. You could move this thing to the back here, then it would be the part that goes up would be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks long and 1 block wide. So and as high as you build it, and maybe you would need a bit more redstone at the bottom as I have it here. But yeah, it's definitely
It was
not.
just to make an example.
Yeah, exactly. It's just to show that dropper elevators won't be a problem we have to worry about much. So next up, what do we got here? Oh, that was a really weird one.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one. A double silent magic button by Gabriel Gamecoder. So as you can see
Okay,
here
I'm
on-
sorry. I'm sorry, Gabriel Gamecoder, but I don't think this. I don't think this is a
It
thing
looks
which we can
cool.
really use as an argument. It looks cool, yes, but it's
Yeah.
like
So here, oops. So here would be basically like the floor, you could say, right? It would be totally covered up, and here on the side with the Quasi-Connectivity, you can have like both buttons basically assigned, and here on the not Quasi-Connectivity side, of course, yeah, no.
the top one will trigger nothing, and the bottom one will just trigger this.
We trigger the wrong one, of course.
Yeah.
Not the
So
one.
yeah, the double magic button wouldn't work without quasi connectivity either, and we haven't found a replacement for that. So
There is probably one, but more bulky, and we already invested so much time into it. We couldn't like look into everything to get replaced here.
yeah, but here's the main thing I think that droppers and dispensers would remove, and that's or that would get removed if quasi connectivity got fixed just for droppers and dispensers for now. That's because we completely didn't forgot to discuss it last time. That's why we discuss them now, and that's a silent but, and that's really something that's hard to find a replacement for, or maybe even impossible. And that works based on quasi-connectivity of droppers and dispensers. You can see it gets powered from up here, and as soon as it gets an update, it will shoot the item up and then reset itself. And that, of course, won't happen without the quasi-connectivity here.
We should also say that everything that we built up, or that we are assuming, is because we don't know yet how the future butt block will behave, what specifications it has got. So that means we are totally like fishing in the dark. So it can be that it is a super duper thing, but currently, from how I would grasp it, I don't see it as really complete replacement for quasi-connectivity. I mean, Moang can or Microsoft can surprise me, but I don't see it currently. So that's why we are making all this fuss, because they said themselves that they don't want us to lose anything. So yeah, we have to prove them what we would lose, basically, and and ask them to give us a proper replacement so we can do all things that we could do before as well, or that we can still do. Of course, it will take some time until they would remove it, if they ever would remove it. So don't freak out too much. They are still testing out stuff. So
yeah,
I don't think
and they showed that
1.10
they are
and
really
1.11
interested in the
maybe.
community input. So
Yes.
just be nice and try to give your input, and don't
Yeah.
just be the grumpy old man who says, "Nah, I want to keep my quasi connectivity," but rather consider alternatives, because that's more likely that you will get through with that.
Make Redstone great again.
Exactly.
So something, I will, Penna, you could link the Minecraft Reddit post into your video description later on from this stream.
Oh, definitely.
And so people, if you got any arguments or any contradictions, something that you would like to input, this won't probably be the last stream about it. So please give your input so Moang Microsoft can see it, and
Reddit is probably a better place to share this input than in the video description or in the
Indeed.
comments of YouTube, because that's just The YouTube
Yeah.
comment section is a room in which you shout and no one shouts back, or everyone shouts back rather. Um,
Yeah, it's better. It's better on Reddit.
it's a bit more sorted on Reddit, I think. Yeah. So someone just asked, but isn't the hopper here locked? That's exactly how this design works. Let's just lock it for longer. If I trigger this, the item will get shot up and now be in the locked hopper here, and then the hopper gets unlocked again because we have this signal here traveling up, getting inverted, and then it gets unlocked and the hopper sends it down again, and then the system is resetted. That's how this works.
Inasm says, can't you make silent butts using redirecting redstone? Yeah, there is a little problem with redirecting redstone.
Wait, there's several problems with
Okay.
redirecting redstone.
Yeah.
The first thing is, how do you want to make something silent with redirecting redstone? You need a piston to redirect redstone, right? Or is there any way to silently redirect redstone?
But even if so, let's
Let's
talk
go to
about-
the second point because that's more important. Yeah, just go on.
So it is a thing. So from what we grasped, it seems that might be removed sometime in the future as well. So don't rely on redirecting redstone. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing how Mojang tries to clean up the code and Redstone for Pocket Edition and the other versions of Minecraft, it's unlikely that things like redirecting Redstone will stay like that, because that's really something which doesn't look intended to a developer and isn't well understandable for people who want to play with Redstone, right? So if they are thinking about removing butts, redirecting Redstone is probably nothing we want to rely on. Which is also something which we last time, many things we built up to get around the removal of quasi-connectivity were based on redirecting redstone, and yeah, it's indeed true that we shouldn't really make that an argument, because that is something I wouldn't rely on at all.
It is also in danger.
But don't freak out. There's
Yes.
time and they listen to the community,
Yeah.
so
Like
Don't
I said,
you
I
worry
think
too much.
1.10, I don't think so. 1.11 maybe,
yeah.
if at all. So first of all, I would also say they have to also fix redstone dust, like all these update stuff too.
Yep.
If they make an overhaul, they should do it like thoroughly and everything.
So, as I already started bashing quasi-connectivity for droppers and dispensers, let me just go on with that.
You are not wearing your beard, your
Oh.
Spock parallel dimension.
Well, I don't even see it in the case of droppers
people.
and dispensers. In the case of pistons, okay,
Okay.
but in the case of droppers and dispensers, I'm like, well, silent butts, come on. I know, it's sad to lose silent butts, but it's just so weird
Yeah.
for them. Because,
So,
yeah.
in what state are these? You know?
I built it up with piston, so it's a bit easier to explain. We got a piston here, which is not triggered at all. Not powered, not triggered. We got a dropper here, which is not powered, not triggered. Actually, these are... I have to reset these. Okay, let's put one here. This one should be fine. And this one... Oops. Give me some redstone. This one should be fine as well. Okay, so all these droppers here are in different states. And we can see it on the pistons, or they react different to updates and to getting powered. So the first here is just a piston. If we place a block next to it, nothing happens. Same for the dropper. But if we place a redstone block next to it, it will extend. Same for the dropper, it will shoot an item out. Okay, so far so good. Next one. If we place a block next to it, the piston will get updated, and as it's quasi-powered, it will extend. Okay? And the same for the dropper. The dropper is quasi-powered, and when it gets an update, it will shoot the item out. Okay, now we get to the more interesting case. This piston is already extended and quasi-powered. Same for the dropper. It looks exactly the same as the dropper before here, and you can't see any difference. But if you place a block there to update it, it will not shoot the item out, because it already triggered before. It's basically in the extended state as a piston over here. And then lastly, we got this last piston, which is already extended, and if you would place a power source next to it, it would just stay extended. And the same goes for the dropper here. It would just stay extended. However, if you remove the power source again, remove it again, and place it again, it extends again, and extending again means shooting out the items in the case of droppers. And I hope it was somewhat sorted now, but this is really confusing behavior. Especially if you are not familiar with quasi-connectivity, that is nothing that you see and where you are like, oh, that's how it works. That's something where you build something up, your dispenser fires once, you think, yay, it works. You try it again, it doesn't work. You build around into redstone, suddenly it works again. Then it doesn't work again. Then it doesn't work again. Then it works again. And you don't understand which blocks cause what. Like at least that's how it is for someone who isn't fully familiar with quasi-connectivity and that droppers and dispensers have triggered in the non-triggered state.
But too long didn't listen, we would not like miss it extremely with droppers and dispensers, I guess, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's in the case of droppers and dispensers, it's really mainly irritating, I think. Let's get these back in the states where they were. This one was extended, so up. And this one was like that. Yep.
What does yeah, someone said something about
The thing is that we are treating new redstoners like headless chicken without internet connection. Well, in the
Not really.
not really, yeah. And also in this case, what I just showed here with the droppers, that is really confusing. That is something I still run into when I build something with droppers and dispensers, that it suddenly doesn't work and I have to think about in which state it is now and where I have to have it powered from and why that happens. It is really confusing. Just like
yeah, I think the thing is, or what he wants to say, it's a thing that I want to keep for the conclusional part, but I can say it later on again. It's that there are just like concerns that everything is being simplified in a way, which is of course great for beginners to learn like a really, really clean way of redstoning. But for the usually more advanced redstoners, this is of course quite frustrating then. So the argumentation is basically that those kids could learn those sophisticated redstoning if they would use their internet connection and watch tutorials about it, etc. But keep just in mind, I get what you mean, and I can totally understand it, and I agree, of course, also in many ways. But it is a bug, and they want to have a clean code. We have to deal with that, and we have to try to get some sort of replacement, and there are possibilities to get this replacement, so we can have still this sophisticated art of redstone, I want to say, of this technology, basically.
So there was just something in chat regarding the droppers, which I want to read out, because first thing, @panda4994 nailed it. You just summed up my first couple of years playing Minecraft, which is this this confusion was related to this confusion around this, I think, because it came up shortly after that. And then next up, yeah, even if you understand it, it slows you down a lot when you are trying to reason about redstone. I would say that's definitely true for the droppers and dispensers. So, I mean, if there is really a good reason to keep quasi-connectivities for droppers and dispensers, please try to convince me otherwise. Tell me, but I don't see it at the moment. I think it's mainly confusing.
Double silent magic.
Well,
or discuss an alternative that makes sense, right? So this is part of the entire point, not just to say that we're better with it or without it, but also explain why and give alternatives if it makes sense to give alternatives.
Yeah, exactly. That's also brings me to something else I was thinking about. We are at the extended connectivity topic again, because extended connectivity only would keep half of the thing we use budding for. Actually, I'm on the wrong chunk here; it won't work.
I just wanted to say what I.
So the extended connectivity thing, I didn't turn it on. That's why I have no leg spikes. Ah, that's better. Now I have leg spikes. So the extended connectivity extended connectivity thing would just keep that you are able to power like 2 pistons on top of each other like that. That part it would keep, which is something we had a lot of discussions about already, and we should separate that from the other thing, which is the budding option of powering or unpowering a piston without it extending already, and just waiting for the next update. And now this idea is probably too crazy to ever be added to Minecraft, but who knows? Imagine we had extended connectivity, right? So the huge tree farms and the ice farms and all these things that are based on extended connectivity, where you have to build something in a compact space, would still be possible. But then we also would have a block, and let me just get an emerald block. But we also would have a block which would... Oh yeah, and I also should get...
The emerald block is now like a totally new block that would be added to the game.
Yep. Imagine the emerald...
It's not an emerald block.
Emerald block would be a new block, and that's just a crazy idea. It's please don't take this too serious or anything. It's just... I was just wondering if that would be a valid replacement for quasi-connectivity in the eyes of the technical community, because I think it would be, actually. I think it would pretty much give us all possibilities of quasi-connectivity, but remove the weirdest part of the behavior from pistons and move it into an own block. I think that's what it would do. And it would also give us new possibilities. But it's super weird, so don't expect that to ever be added. So, oops, did I place? Oh, I can't do it together with the extended connectivity if I use a barrier block. Because I use them.
Yeah.
Well,
in
let me just fix that. Oops, that's not how you write class. That's not how you write class. That's not how you write class. That's how you write class. Okay, wait. I'm getting there. I'm not getting there. I'm not getting there. Okay. Yeah, but here we also can see how I simulated the thing. I just place class in there, and then in the next one I say replace barrier with class. Nope, replace class with barrier. So replace class with barrier. Okay. So now I put a barrier block there so that it's invisible. It makes it easier to see. And imagine the block would behave like this. We're powered and nothing happens. Okay? That's how the block behaves. The imaginary, let's call it no update block. It just doesn't cause updates on the blocks around it.
Noop.
Hmm?
No update block.
Noop. No update block. Okay, but now... Oh, why did that... Oh, because we update everything here. Yeah, it doesn't work in this chunk. Let's just go to another one. Okay, one moment. I got it in a moment. Let's see if I can somehow still save this explanation of the of the Noop block. That's its name now. Deal with it.
Yeah.
So, you power it, nothing happens with the Noop block. But now, if you update this, the blocks around it, they will get power, like that. Same goes for, let me just hide it so you don't see it. Same goes for when we unpower it, nothing happens. But as soon as this receives an update, like we place a block here, it will then retract. Is the idea understandable? Of the no update block?
I understand it.
So, and I think the no update block in combination with extended connectivity would keep the possibilities of quasi-connectivity there, because it gives us a possibility to chain updates by getting blocks into a not updated state, an invalid state basically. And it also gives us the possibility of move pistons from higher above so that we can build trapdoors and use it in tree farms and wherever you need to power pistons in a compact way.
So, trying to think of a way to explain it, but rather than calling it the no update block, but it's kind of like it's a block that knows its state but doesn't actually become powered or unpowered. Well,
it becomes powered, but it doesn't tell it the other blocks around. that's why I call it no update block, because it would be just a normal block, just that it prevents updates happening in the moment when it gets powered. So that prevents that.
Well, I think it would make sense almost to say that it doesn't become powered or unpowered until it itself gets an update. Oh no. Wait.
No, that's not the case.
No, it's the blocks that it's
the blocks around it
adjacent
that need updates. So it's a blocks that
Right.
doesn't cause updates, and that is exactly the second feature of quasi-connectivity. The first one is powering blocks below, and the second one is exactly that. And that's how I came up with this, because I was like, okay, how could you get the features of quasi-connectivity implemented as features? So I don't think this would ever happen, because invalid states is nothing merging once, I think.
In case quasi-connectivity would get removed from MCPC because they won't edit it into the other versions as bug, I guess. So extended connectivity and such a Noop block would sort of compensate for quasi-connectivity from what we see, but of course please input Redstone community if you see it differently. But this would mean, sorry Microsoft Moang, that you wouldn't need a butt block then, right? It would be obsolete, so you don't need a butt block anymore.
I mean, it could be right. Well, if you're trying to give proposals for how the observer should behave.
Yeah. So
well, the observer block.
The observer and make it like.
The observer could still be a thing, but it would be pretty easy to do that with the Noop block, right? Because you could just also would have silent droppers again, like no problem. With the Noop block, everything is possible. Let me read out some comments to the Noop block.
People are quite positive.
The thing is, this will not happen because it's getting blocks into invalid states, and I think that's something that Moang wants to get rid of, blocks in invalid states, and we like playing so much with them.
It's not a bug coded inside the game anymore.
It's a feature.
It's a feature.
And if you consider it this way, the block itself, the way you're talking about it, is in the right state. It's just not telling its neighbors about anything. Yeah,
but that's exactly, the neighbors get into an invalid state, and that's something that Moang wants to, if possible, completely prevent from what I got. But let me read out comments to the Noop block.
Well, but that's like, Panda, that's like saying that, having, two pistons facing each other. Wait, what's that? I'm trying to think of how to explain it now.
Think of it a bit. I want to read out comments anyways. We can continue there in a moment, okay? Okay, someone said, or maybe no update repeater. I'm against calling it no update repeater because that implies delay, and I don't want it to have delay because then we would lose something. It needs to be instant. See no update block. That's why there's no repeater in there, because repeaters have delay. A Noop would be cool. Floating sand, lily pads in air, or something else. I don't think floating sand and lily pads in air would be possible with that. I mean, floating sand is already possible quite easy, at least at the moment. And again, that's something we shouldn't rely on, because that probably will get fixed at some point. But I don't think the Noop block would make that possible. There we go, floating sand. Lily pads in air, I don't know how to do that. But yeah, the Noop block indeed sounds cool. The idea is definitely understandable, but I think it's the lowest chance of being added. I agree, it has a really low chance. I completely agree. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to bring it up because that would be the sort of ideal replacement for buds, in my opinion. A no block would be super interesting. I want that. Okay, it seems like I hit the nerve of the technical community this time. It's just a lot more bulky. The Noop block is a lot more bulky? I don't think so. I mean, you could also have the Noop block just with redstone on top, like that. That would work as well. You don't need the repeater thing. That was just to show it. That would the Noop block would behave the same still. The thing is, the updates in this case are caused by the redstone, and you would need to make sure that the Noop block limits the updates that the redstone causes. But that's an implementation detail. It should be that this piston doesn't update now, because the Noop block is actually the one powering it. I actually like this idea. Of course, I also want a single butt block for compactness, but I also like to have a Noop block. Wow. So far, only positive feedback to the Noop block, but it's sadly something we probably will never get. But I thought the idea was funny and worth thinking in this direction, because I think that's where where the actual conflict is that we like playing with the updates and being able to control the updates. At least the core of the technical community likes to do that a lot, or see zero takes and all that stuff. But I think that's the whole update system is something that's not necessarily made for the player to see. It's something that should work in the background, that shouldn't be noticed, and we just make it like the thing we play around with all the time. So I think that's where the conflict around the whole quasi-connectivity thing happens with the core technical community. Hidden update block. I was also thinking about silent update, but having the update in there and like it should hidden update. It doesn't cause an update. It doesn't cause a hidden update. It doesn't cause a silent update. It just doesn't cause an update. That's why we came up with no update blocks then. Hidden update block. Does the ice thing still work then? If by ice thing you mean I can't believe we're actually now making a stream about the Noop blocks, the most unlikely thing to be added ever. So the ice thing would still work, because now if the Noop block would get unpowered, these pistons would not retract. Let me just simulate it by using quasi-connectivity. So that's what would happen. They also wouldn't have extended, of course, so maybe I should just do that again. So let me place barrier blocks here again. Or actually, let me get blocks in front, so I have a bit easier time showing it. Okay, so it powers now, nothing happens. Now I remove the blocks. So what we want to do now is cause an additional update here. So we somehow have redstone here, which just causes an additional update. Zap, they extend. And then remove the power, and as the Noop block doesn't cause updates, they will stay in this state, and we got what we wanted for the ice farm, the ice thing. I think that's what it was referring to. So yeah, that would definitely be possible with the Noop block. No, it hasn't got a cool name.
I think it might not be... Well, you could assume that this would be the most unlikely thing to be added, but they're adding a bud block.
So you mean they lost their minds already? So I mean, if they would add that would be really, really cool thing, and I think that could make up for quasi-connectivity, sort of. I actually do believe that. Let's see if people will prove me wrong on that. If there's something that wouldn't be possible with extended connectivity and a Noop block, probably there's some special cases where you use the extended connectivity and the no update property of pistons at the same time, and that wouldn't be possible. But I think that's really edge cases by now, and I think the main thing would be extended connectivity and the Noop block.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't want this to also be powered if you just put a redstone block on next to it?
Oh well, you could do that. I mean, comparators behave like that already, so why not? But that's also details. I guess that would actually be really cool, because then you can use it with flying machines as well. I think that's definitely what should happen, because it's of course movable by pistons, and if you then have it with redstone blocks working, then it works in flying machines as well. So that's definitely something that should be done. Good point. Noop block, and I think people don't take us serious at this point, but let's go on with really comments about that. Noop block at the server would probably make some great contraptions. This is Minecrafty and still opens a big new world of redstone. Perfect. I'm actually not sure how serious these comments are. Like everyone is like,
Myron says, hold bedrock breaking hostage for the Noop block.
Yeah, like here. We give you the code necessary for these and that, those exploits, so if you can get this, you can have the exploit codes.
It's hilarious.
We take the code hostage, sort of, or the fixes for it, yeah. That's a good idea.
I really dislike the idea of a butt block, but that's a separate issue, I guess. Well, I think the butt block is mainly the artificial way to simulate quasi-connectivity, but it's not really what makes quasi-connectivity that great, right? I mean, it's part of the second behavior of quasi-connectivity, the no update thing, but well, depending on how the butt block is implemented, it would actually make up for that a little bit, but not to the full extent, because you can't get pistons stuck in the extended state anymore, besides with relying on redstone redirecting. So yeah, I can get that the butt block is really weird, but it still sounds like you could do awesome things with it.
Are you still going through the comments, or
Yeah,
shall
definitely.
we also start to discuss other possible ways to
Let's
cope
make it worldwide trending,
with-
or no, did we do? We should show the other things we built up with pistons first, and then we should wrap up the stream with talking about possibilities and
Yes, and generally general conclusions about possible quasi-connectivity removal, etc. Oh, zero ticks should also.
should I encourage things like Panda? Can you please read this message up? Arrow message. I don't think I should read that out because it encourages stupid messages like that, which don't really add anything, right?
Exactly.
Good.
So yeah, then
Good that we talked about it.
Continue. Or Cabo, and any additions to the Noop blog?
Someone.
If I had the choice between a Noop block and a second set of pistons, I'd take the Noop block.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly. That was like the other argument. We could have, in theory, have two sets of pistons, one with and one without quasi-connectivity, basically. But that could, I mean, for once, it could make more sophisticated builds, of course, if you could like alternate them in any way. But on the other hand, it could also become a little bit confusing me. I don't know. I found the idea neat to have like iron pistons crafted with iron and the others with gold. Like here, you have your cursed quasi-connectivity pistons, but you have to pay gold for it. Ha! I found that funny in a way.
Can't we have just separate pistons, one with QC and one without? Wouldn't that solve anything? Yeah, that's another possible. That's exactly what Mary just said. It would be a possible solution. But it's again, I think it would get confusing because they would look really similar, and it feels really weird. Like Myron made this.
5 years, yeah.
Myron made this mod where he has the bug pistons and the real pistons, like where he even reintroduced this other behavior with comparators that you can have double piston extenders. I mean, that's pretty awesome, but I don't think it's something that Mojang or Microsoft would be interested in doing. It's
Yeah, I asked the MCP developer last time when he was last week in live stream with puppy eyes and everything, if he would think that this could be a valid solution, and he didn't seem like very enthusiastic about it. To put it like that. So I don't think they would really reconsider a second pair of pistons.
Yeah. Should we go over the stuff I built up with
please.
pistons, Okay, so yeah. Sorry that I didn't read all the chat out now, but we also want to continue. I'm sure there were a lot more interesting and funny comments in there. But yeah, let's continue with stream here. So here we got the thing for pistons. Here we got a butt switch that's based on quasi-connectivity. It of course doesn't work on this side as there is no quasi-connectivity. Then we got another butt switch which uses quasi-connectivity but isn't really based on it over here. So here you can see the version where it would be without quasi-connectivity. You just need an extra block there. And connected there, and with quasi-connectivity it then wouldn't work. So that's the version of it without with quasi-connectivity. That's the version with it. We showed these things last time also, but I just want to go over them again real quick. Here's a butt in a version which works for both by just moving it to the side. So no quasi-connectivity is used anymore. But let's get to the little more interesting things from the whole feedback we got about last episode. So last episode we had this wall with pistons here, where we showed with quasi-connectivity you can either make one piston or two pistons extend. Without quasi-connectivity it's either none or one set of pistons. or like the upper line of pistons that you can make it extend. And Kevin Harms pointed out that with quasi-connectivity, you also have the choice to make none of them extend. So you got 3 different choices here by just putting repeaters on top. I mean, of course, there's delay, so it's a bit of a stretch, but it's still, for many cases, it would be useful. So you can choose between no piston, 1 piston, and 2 pistons that extend. While without quasi-connectivity, you have no pistons, 1 pistons, no pistons. So you have a choice less. And this 2 piston choice is, as I said, extended connectivity basically, which is quite important for many things where you want to build compact redstone. Next up, we had that last time already, so let's just go over it real quick. With quasi-connectivity, you can make a wall like that, where the whole wall extends at once. And this wall doesn't work without quasi-connectivity. You can see these ones, which would only get powered diagonally by this block, won't extend on this side of the world. And yeah, you could still make a wall like that possible by putting slab wire behind it like that and having blocks and facing redstone there. And
It
then
becomes bigger.
it becomes a block bigger indeed. And then the whole wall extends at once. Here, for example, a 10 by 10 wall. So let's move on to the next thing. I think these things we can go rather quick over them, right? We had them last time already, and I think people know them. So we got a trap door here. Actually, I should show the quasi-connectivity side first. So that's a really widely used door design. And
nothing below here, really clean and easy to build.
Just the top here. And without quasi-connectivity, you can see the lower pistons, or without extended connectivity as well, the lower pistons wouldn't get triggered and it wouldn't close correctly. Now, it is, of course, possible to still build doors like that, but you see it got bigger, and again, it's probably not the most compact and most clean you could make it. But this would be, for example, a version of the door where you don't use quasi-connectivity, so we just have it wired down here and then extend these blocks from below. And
I guess generally, maybe not for these super duper, super fast, huge, gigantic piston doors, I don't know. But in theory, you could like replace nearly, not everything, but many things also if you didn't have quasi-connectivity, but it would become more messy, more ugly, and possibly also in some cases not flush with the wall, with the ceiling, with the floor, what many people really do like, and I myself as well.
This one is not necessarily flush anymore here, because if you would build it in a wall with also wall below, you would have the pistons there, so it's not really flush. Other than the original trapdoor design. But yeah, trapdoor is definitely a thing that would break. That would be kept with extended connectivity, because then that would just work the same basically. But let's just move on to the next thing. A really commonly designed is this monostable circuit thing, which is also based on quasi-connectivity because the repeater here can power this piston there, and without quasi-connectivity that thing wouldn't work. And the other solutions for it would be bigger again. For example, I built one up over here. Actually, I'm not sure if that's even correct, but I think it is. It works. I wonder if that's stable, because it could rely on the update out of the repeaters here. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have put more thought in when I built it. But you could do something like that to create short pulses, not based on quasi-connectivity. I think it's actually fine because a block event happens later. So this should always give a tick on this, short pulse on this side, which then gets to 1 tick by the repeater. So that would be an alternative for it. Of course, bigger again. But let's get to something more interesting, and that's flying machines. We had them last time already, and I built up a few different flying machine designs here. So this one is a really simple, probably most compact engine for flying machine, right? So it's based on quasi-connectivity, or not really based on it, but it uses quasi-connectivity here again. So if I trigger the right piston and then this piston, then you can see it starts flying. On the non-quasi-connectivity side, it just won't do anything because these pistons are not powered. Should we stop the missiles or just keep them flying? So next up, we got the fixed version here, which works with quasi-connectivity, without quasi-connectivity. So with quasi-connectivity, now you can see the piston just stays extended. But over here, we would have the same engine basically, just that it works without quasi-connectivity as well. And then on top of here, we just have a version of it which is turned sideways, so it works in both cases. Oops. So yeah, you can see then it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's the simple flying machines, the normal slow ones. And we already had this discussion last time if it's possible to do fast flying machines, and CubeHamster came up with this this fast engine in stream. And now 9.1 made lightning. So you may know Missile Wars, the game where you spawn in these TNT-loaded missiles and try to shoot the portal of the enemy. And there's this missile called Lightning, which is a really fast one. And let me just enable all these flying machines here. And we got a Lightning over here. So if I trigger it, you can see it's flying way faster. And also we got the Lightning on the not quasi-connectivity side here, and you can see that one is slow, so the supercharged engine doesn't work here.
That's called snailing now. Not a Lightning anymore.
Yeah.
Is it?
Not a Lightning anymore. So that's the Lightning designs by CubeHamster, which were used in Missile Wars, I think. I might have built it up a little wrong, but I think it should be that overall. Now over here we got two more, and that's the Lightning designs by 9.1. Again, I might have built them up a little wrong, but yeah, you can see it's a little bigger, but it works as well, and it also works without quasi-connectivity. And also, I guess we can just remove this side. We don't really need it, so it's a bit more focused on the actual engine thing. Now, of course, it wouldn't be possible to ignite. But yeah, that's Lightning without. Oops. Stop.
Yeah. Also had a problem.
That's a Lightning without quasi-connectivity. So yeah, I think that covers it with flying machines. Maybe one thing that should be said, you see it gets bigger here, and in general, if quasi-connectivity was removed and no extended connectivity was there, like if it really was like over here where it's not influenced at all by this block, right? No matter if you update it or not. If that's the case, then a lot of flying machines get impossible because you are limited with the 12 block push limit. And in case that should happen, which I really hope that it won't, in case that should happen, then at least the push limit would need to be raised to make flying machines still possible as they were possible before. I mean, 16 would be more logical anyways, and that's just a number you need to change. So I don't see a big issue.
16 sounds so much logical in Minecraft terms.
So I wouldn't see a big issue there if they want to keep everything possible to at least for the flying machines have this workaround if they have other workarounds for the other things.
So whatever you do, Moang or Microsoft, please consider Slime Tech is really, really a super problem. So whatever you do with our other arguments, but Slime Tech is super important that it...
Don't break the huge flying machines. I mean, look at the robots that CubeHamster built. These things would get super hard to impossible without quasi-connectivity or extended connectivity.
I will link some videos, some of those monsters in the Reddit post as well, so you can have a look at that.
Yeah, I will link the Reddit post in the video description, so if you watch the video, you can also go there and check that. Next up, we got Tileable pistons. So this came up by I don't remember. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Sorry. I think we even said it before. So it was sent to me as part of a wither skeleton farm design, and I think that was the use of quasi-connectivity in it. Basically, you want to have a wall of pistons, 2 high pistons, and you want to power them one by one tileable. Yeah, that's what works really well with quasi-connectivity or extended connectivity here, because you can just have it like that, or you could also have the a block behind here, and then power this block, and just the two pistons extend. And without quasi-connectivity, that wouldn't be possible, then just the top one would extend. So it still would be possible to do that, but it gets bulky, and I don't know, maybe from below it would have worked in the design. I didn't try it too much. I have it somewhere back there, and I didn't manage to build something up in like 10 to 20 minutes. I tried, but that doesn't mean that that's impossible. But yeah, still, like that would get bulky. This is now independent of quasi-connectivity here, and every second row is just a little bit different design, and there's redstone dust in there. So not really a nice design, but it still is possible. But you see how much easier this one with quasi or extended connectivity would be.
Yeah. Before we continue, Cotton Byte said something funny that because Cabo, of course, also helped with the slime block. In case you don't know, Panda and Cabo wrote the code for the slime block mechanics we have since 1.8. We can thank those two guys here. And Cotton Byte says, Panda, if they are going to change the push limits of pistons, why not take it a step further and make it so that pistons can push together? Maybe with some restrictions, maybe require that pistons be adjacent to be able to push together. So that's an interesting question, because you had that in mind as well, right? Or you were discussing it back then?
Well, we were discussing it back then when we worked on the slime blocks, and it was actually probably the thing we spent the most time on thinking about, right?
Probably.
Like how we can make slime block structures break apart or pistons to move together, which would be this. Which would also allow that if you make slime block structures break apart, that would allow for several pistons to move together. We spent a lot of time thinking about it, but we didn't come up with a intuitive and good solution back then in time, because the whole thing actually happened relatively fast. I think we just made the slime block thing and suddenly it was in the game. Like from one day.
1 week.
Yeah. So we didn't. We spent a lot of time compared to the rest of the slime block mechanics probably to think about how to do that, and we didn't manage to in the time. But I guess we could have spent more time and maybe managed to. Also, I recently had a discussion with Myron on the Reddit, and I should just try to find the link to that, because it might interest some people. And yeah, he said he tries to do something like that, and had some nice ideas. So for the really technical people, that's probably an interesting read, what we discussed there. Let me just check. I think it was in this here.
So in any case, slime tech is an important thing to consider regarding quasi-connectivity. Clean code, yes or no, doesn't matter, but that is really important. That should be considered in a possible quasi-connectivity removal, which is not confirmed yet, but yeah.
So I linked the Reddit post where we discussed it and talked about it and the possibilities how you could make that work. But yeah, I think that's a completely different topic. Like for working around this quasi-connectivity thing or extended connectivity, push limit 16 would probably be sufficient, to be honest. Making them work together would be really awesome, though.
16 is a regular Minecraft number, so
yeah. Next up, I think we will just continue, right? Next up, we got some things that were built up by Kevin Harms. He sent in a video. And this is also about compact wiring and letting wires cross here. So you can see there's a blue line going over here, a red line going over here, and then the green line, oops, I should show it on this side, I always make this mistake, and the green line going over here. So you can have 3 different redstone lines in this compact space crossing like that. And without quasi-connectivity, this torch, of course, doesn't power the piston anymore. Yeah, so that's something. I guess what you probably could do, though, is have it like that, right? That block should be... What's green and red? I guess yellow? Like a mixture of green and red? What color?
Green and red is lime.
No,
green and red is brown. Sorry.
Brown is this.
Brown. I'm just multitasking. Hold on.
Let's let's take that because it's a green line, and so
green
like that you could make this example still work. I didn't think of that earlier, otherwise I would have built it up already, but I just thought, well, that's actually pretty obvious. So, but we got another example here, which is making use of a comparator, and you can power this piston from on top, and power this blue line below there. And without quasi-connectivity, again, the torch doesn't power the piston. And here you can't just do the thing with the repeater as I did here. Here it's a little different. Or can you? No, I don't think you can. But we got more. Let's see.
But there is more.
But wait, there's more. Another thing sent in by Kevin Harms was this thing, which is a good way to send a pulse down. Like, you just have a pulse there. Without quasi-connectivity, it would behave like that, which is, in my opinion, something you would expect a lot more. But yeah, both are interesting. Definitely. So
it's hard to say. I mean, it depends really on the contraption, but both are.
Both might be useful indeed.
Yeah.
Color code FFFF00. Oh well. So also with pistons like that going upwards, without quasi-connectivity, it just works. And with quasi-connectivity, they then get stuck and don't retract anymore because they are. That would also be the case with extended connectivity. They are still powered by the block on top. Also, this here would also still be the case with extended connectivity. So in these two cases, extended connectivity, we would choose this side here.
Could you trigger again the both, or some didn't see it?
Oh, okay. Can you wait? I will get in a good position and you trigger them.
Okay. So this is more like it sort of resets itself more or less, right? You can say.
And here it needs some time to extend again. Is sticky piston spitting out blocks part of QC? No, it isn't. That's a different mechanic. Okay, and over here, I think this one is easier to see. Like, I should go on this side and I actually can flex the lever. If I power it, extends all of them and retracts all of them. Not the case for this side. So it just doesn't retract. But let's get to more feedback. Another thing I showed last time was the pixel display here. Why is that wrong? There's something wrong. Is it better now? Yeah, now it's better. There was some piston in a weird state. I have no idea how it got there. Maybe someone played around with the levers. But I showed this. I showed this pixel display here last time, and said it won't be possible. It won't be possible with quasi-connectivity to make a display like that. And yeah, this exact display design doesn't work with quasi-connectivity. Over here you can see the smiley is a bit messed up. And yeah, it doesn't, like you can't trigger pixel by pixel. It also but the pistons here, and then these pistons but these, and these redstone blocks but these there. So this display doesn't work with quasi-connectivity. However, there were actually, I think, two designs sent in that work regardless of quasi-connectivity. So you can see the first one here, which was sent in by To Know To Name, and it was posted a while ago on Reddit by, I forgot the name.
I don't know either.
Let me check if I can find it real quick. Reddit.
I only know that To Know To Name sent it in.
Yeah, To Know To Name sent it in, and but it was posted in February on Reddit. Someone else said, but I can't find it at the moment. Yeah, sorry. I will just go on with stream now. Yeah. So you can see there's tripwire behind here, and then we make the tripwire different lengths and move armor stands up with pistons and can trigger each individual pixel. So if we want to turn off this eye, we check there's a tripwire going here, and it's powered by this armor stand. So why is there even levers up here? Doesn't make any sense. So we untrigger this piston, and the eye is turned off. And that design also works without quasi-connectivity. It's independent of quasi-connectivity. No use of quasi-connectivity in there. And there was also
But
another.
it's bigger. I mean, it's larger, right?
Well, yeah, it is, but
Yeah.
pixel displays are large by default all the time. This one is just built up in a compact way here at the moment. Usually you need to get the wires out somehow, and you need to get them out to the side or something like that. So this one would be larger as well if you build it fully up. So
the tripwire thing is really amazing. I also think, like you called it, thinking out of the box, right?
exactly,
That's awesome.
that's the thing. When we say something is possible or not possible with or without quasi-connectivity, there's
There are
also
some
always
crazy
a chance
people.
thinking out of the box. You just make use of a mechanic you didn't think about. Like tripwire, we didn't consider tripwire. We thought about repeaters and redstone and pistons, and we just didn't think of tripwire. And then someone comes up with this thing and uses tripwire. But there's also another piston pixel display, that was made by Deco the Redstone, I think. And I think it is actually pretty much this display here, just that you use a certain order to move out the blocks, and then you can get around the quasi-connectivity. But I haven't built that up, and I didn't get my head fully around how you need to order them to trigger each pixel how you want it. But I believe it's possible. So I thought I just should bring that up as well. But let's go on to the next thing, where the no update block comes in again, the Noop block. So we had it last time already, where we were talking about an ice farm, which is based on pistons in extended states that want to retract. So if ice generates, it just gets moved back and then gets moved to the side or something. And after that, this whole thing, triggered it too fast. This whole thing resets and then can get triggered again. I just built up the concept here, and without quasi-connectivity, that thing didn't work anymore. And we said it won't be possible with quasi-connectivity to get pistons into the extended state, and that's not true, because we can also make use of the redstone redirection bug. So yeah, over here we have that built up. I place ice here, it gets retracted, and then I have to reset the whole thing and can do it again. So
now, keeping in mind that this redirecting might also be gone someday.
Exactly, the redirecting is nothing we should rely more on than on quasi-connectivity. Definitely not. But yeah, how it works is basically just this. Oops, not this, this. And now the piston is in the budded state because the redstone redirected there, and that doesn't cause an update. Nothing to rely on, but I just wanted to bring up that the ice farm concept is indeed still possible, because we didn't come up with it last time. Yeah, and that's actually something I also came up with before someone pointed it out. It was also pointed out by people, but I also got it myself after stream. Just a few hours after, I think, or half an hour or so even.
We talked about it before your last stream, actually.
Did we?
Yeah. You just forgot, I guess.
Yeah, we talked about redstone redirecting, but I guess I didn't think about it when. Yeah, I guess we talked about a lot of things before the last stream.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to keep all these things? So yeah, that's it with the things I built up from the feedback. Oh, also getting back to the stuff Kevin Harms sent in. He also sent in a video of how was it called? Of a RAM, like memory.
Random access memory.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It had some special name like 2-byte something random access memory.
I don't. Yeah, whatever.
So it was anyways. It's also a fair point to bring up that redstone computing, the compactness of the huge redstone computers for devices like the random access memory, that there's more possibilities if you have quasi-connectivity for it, and that it might, like, if depending on how it would get replaced, if it ever gets replaced, it might be something that it's worth considering as well. But we didn't build it up. It was I didn't get to it anymore.
We were already quite exhausted from last week's. Yeah.
Indeed, we also had a lot of discussions and comments to reply to. So yeah, we didn't get to build up everything we wanted. But I hope we got most of the things that were sent in right. I hope we didn't forget.
Which would be important to mention. If it is not built up, we at least mention the most important things. And like I said, please keep continuing. Giving us or rather Moang, Microsoft, your input in the Reddit post that will be linked, and we can maybe make an update stream sometime also again and present some other things that Moang should consider when they change something with Redstone. Right?
Indeed. So I guess we showed all examples here. Maybe we can show some of the things we had last time again, before we get slowly to the end, right?
With a conclusion.
Well, if we have one.
So I can sum it up.
So over here, that was built up by Ground last time, and it is from the bug report of Quasi-Connectivity, which is MC108, I think.
108.
So that's there's a second lever on here. Someone is feeling trolly.
Not me.
So it's let's just remove this one. It's a 3x3 door which works without quasi-connectivity, because that's also something that often gets brought up. Doors probably would get more difficult with extended connectivity. I think doors would pretty much stay the same. Yeah. Can you explain how you did the no QE side world? That is a mod I made, which just disables quasi-connectivity in the negative x coordinate. So we are playing on a modded server here.
We should also mention that you can also in the Reddit link you can download this this mod and also the world also as download if you want it. If you don't have to download the world, you can use it in any world, and everything at 0 basically then towards negative x towards west is without quasi-connectivity, which we like marked here with the brown patches, and towards positive x is then the world normally like you know them with quasi-connectivity, so you can test out your own stuff. You can download the mod. It is everything described in a txt file how you can install it. It's not with Forge. It's just modding your regular Minecraft jar. Yeah, the version.
Indeed. There's also instructions in the mod download.
Yeah.
And I hope I nailed them this time, because the last time I did mods there were a lot of questions, but this time I didn't see many, so I think I did a rather good job. Mary also read the instructions, so if you have trouble with them, she's also to blame, not just me.
What?
I'm sorry. No, I think the instructions are actually relatively clear this time. If you still have trouble, you can of course ask on the Reddit thread.
Yeah. Didn't have time to make a video about it, how to do it, but there are also other videos how to mod a regular Minecraft version.
So, zero ticking is something else we brought up last time. I think we will leave that out this time, or did we actually? I guess we sort of brought it up already, because it's like the whole zero ticking thing. What you use quasi-connectivity here for is is the same thing you would need the Noop block for, right? The new update block.
The Noop.
The Noop block, yeah. So you get the pistons in a state where they are extended but are not powered, and then use the update order of the block events to, or of the pistons and the block events to get a zero tick out of that. And that's something where it gets a lot harder without quasi-connectivity to make changed zero ticks. So last time I had this and said, okay, that generates a single zero tick. To make some change that might make more trouble, Actually, I found a solution for the chain zero ticks, and that's also based on redstone redirecting. I haven't built it up anywhere, but I can just fly over here, because here I got the oh now I lost them. I'm sorry, I went into spectator mode to fly faster. I'm over here. So so this is the same thing for that we would use for the ice farm, and that obviously can also be used for creating chain zero ticks, because we have a row of pistons here which is extended but wants to be retracted, and if I place a block here, they get retracted one after another in this order, and then you could make that create zero ticks here. Actually, how would you create a zero tick here? So this one would retract, then this one, then you want a block here, and yeah, then it gets there's not enough space to build two of them. We would need a piston in between here, so we would need to extend it here. Put that there, that here, and hey, actually that's probably one of the first times I like that redstone has a smaller hitbox now. I just needed a slab and could get it because redstone doesn't cover the full top. But usually I find it not that nice.
Then Einzel just brought up a thing like we thought, like a second pair of pistons, or like we called them a little bit jokingly last time, quantum pistons, because they would be toggleable with a right click. Said, let's just make the Noop block a butt block when you right click it. So basically, a toggleable butt and Noop block.
And don't change the texture, so it's maximum confusion. Like dispensers and droppers when budding them. So I think this should now, when we reset it, this should now create two zero ticks. First this one and then this one, and this block should jump to over here if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I'm right. So I updated here. Okay, I failed a bit. Now it's better. So I updated here, and yep, you can see that was change zero ticks. So this would be a way to still change zero ticks, but again, it's based on redstone redirecting, and if we don't trust on budding, then we shouldn't trust on that either. But yeah, that's how you would still be able to chain zero ticks. Not block, but block when you right click on it.
Nope.
So.
We're discussing, yeah.
Yeah, I think this over here was just
yeah.
my mock-up for the silent dropper elevator. So you can see that's how it would be while it goes up. If you build it in a row, then it would just be 4 by 1. So relatively compact, I would say. You can't use redstone here, you need repeaters, because redstone has a random update order, which is really weird. Like they throw the blocks that it updates on a hash set there, and then takes the order of that, so they get randomized.
Also bug post on what Jira?
I hope it is.
It is.
I mean, the hash map thing is old bug post, but they also introduced hash map to the update order in 1.9, I think. So I hope that's also mentioned in the bug post order. There's a new bug post or something. Just put a dragon egg in the crafting recipe of the Noop block, and then it's no problem if it's confusing to new players, because new players won't get a Noop block.
User joined your channel.
You can only have one Okay, you can only have one dragon egg. I just said. I forget what I just
so
said.
basically the idea Myron just brought up there is okay, just keep the
Technical advanced players.
keep the buggy weird code in there for the technical advanced players, and make sure that the noobs will never see it, because it's just a hidden Easter egg which you need to find by building a sand duplicator or a dragon egg duplicator. And then, so kind of a funny idea to just have this hidden game within the game, like for the on the surface you just have the normal working pistons, everything is normal, and then you have some really weird crafting recipes which require nether stars and dragon eggs and stuff like that.
Dragon egg is Easter egg, yeah.
And it's just so normal players would never find it or would never get it. But you know what normal players will do? They will just say /div dragon egg and then complain that their pistons don't work correctly. You also would have to keep them out of the creative inventory. Just hide them completely.
Dragon eggs are not in the creative inventory as far as I know.
Oh yeah, they are not. But the pistons that are crafted with them, you would, or the blocks.
Have in the creative, yeah. Did we show everything? I don't even know anymore. It's so confusing. We built up so much stuff.
I think we showed most of it now. I mean, we probably showed a few things in more detail last time. For example, here we also got the hash map issue. Wait, can I reproduce it anywhere? There we go. Was it this block? No, it was this one. So that's quasi-connectivity together with hash map, because this block goes off before this one, and then this piston stays in quasi-connected state, like in the budded state, because it doesn't receive an update. And that doesn't happen without quasi-connectivity here either, but the hash map would still be an issue. The thing is, if they do this, then they won't be able to patch gravity block duplication. Well, the Oracle said they won't fix that anyway, so... Actually, I shouldn't talk about gravity block duplication in a video that might get seen by...
Yeah, that's what I tried to say the whole time.
Sorry. Psst, you didn't hear anything if you work for Moang. In case anyone is still watching us, you didn't hear anything.
Cut it out.
I will just beep it out.
Yeah, if we showed everything...
Not even bug exploiters as Panda4994 will use hopper item dupers. They literally replace every other farm in Minecraft. Yeah, I think some bugs like hopper item duplication just, like, no. If you use that, there's no point in the technical challenge of the other things. If you keep that away from you, then you get a lot of challenges, but... Oops. So let's see, did we get everything? Why this stream? I think we covered that, right? At the beginning we talked about how there was a tweet about a bad block in MCP Pocket Edition, and how there should be eventually feature parity between the versions. So that's why this discussion is important for us PC players as well. Exactly, here's the tweet. Yes, eventually we are now working towards having the same game on all platforms, by Jeb. Then, yeah, we also showed this Reddit post by one of the developers of Pocket Edition. I would hate if certain things would no longer be possible in Minecraft, is the bottom line here, which is really important, a really important statement for us, because even if they want to fix or remove quasi-connectivity at some point, they don't want us to lose things. They don't want to make things impossible. So we should
and I would just
offer them alternatives there.
Right. I'm just supposing that that's not I don't mean it as offense or something like that, but the Minecraft community is really, really super crazy in a good way. That means the developers don't know all those crazy things that you can do with quasi-connectivity, I would suppose. So they don't are those super uber duper redstoners, and that's why it's super important to have this as argument and to say, hey, that's what we can do with quasi-connectivity, and if you want to fix that bug in the PC version, then please give us something that could possibly replace it.
The NUP block, for example. I really would like to hear a statement about the NUP block of one of the merge things. I think they would Noop block. I think they would just laugh at me.
Update.
Like,
So
You might be surprised.
that's why your input is so super important here. So please try to participate and to give us something as arguments, so we can try to,
yes, as well as
to give them some
possible things that could replace quasi-connectivity, because it is something that might get removed, and if you give good ideas to Mojang what they could do instead of quasi-connectivity, which would give us the same possibilities, then it's more likely that we will have good redstone in the future. So yeah, should I read out more chat now, or should we just get to the end?
Whatever you think. You got something to add?
Oh,
Mr.
wait, there's some interesting input. What if quasi-connectivity stays and pistons in butted state had a visual indication? And that's really an interesting thought, because if Mojang really would consider keeping quasi-connectivity, right? That would be a good way to go to make it less confusing. But I think the NUP block would almost make more sense in this case. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't stop thinking about that thing now. It's so cool. It's just, oh no, I shouldn't bring it up that much. Sorry.
Well, the more you bring it up, the more likely people are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then the more likely the developers will hear about
Noop.
it.
The Noop block, yeah. The Noop block, it's just... I just found it so funny when we talked about it.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, it's about trying to replace quasi-connectivity with something, and that's the best thing that we can come up with, like the extended connectivity with a Noop block would sort of probably be
would cut the weird behavior out of pistons and put it in their own block. You could also just call it the weird block instead of the Noop block.
The crazy block.
Yeah, so, well, actually pistons would still be somewhat weird, but also easier. Oh, we are on the no quasi-connectivity side. Like, pistons would still extend if you place a block on top here. They would then immediately extend, right? So they would still behave weird, but at least less weird than they do now. I'm not sure about the extended connectivity thing. I found it really interesting that Redstone Helper brought it up, because it also brought me to the idea to think about what are the features of quasi-connectivity. And I said it before, it's setting a block in a state where it didn't receive an update, and it's powering pistons from further above, and silent butts. To give a fair share to the droppers as well.
So trying to sum it up a little bit, possible thing would be 2 sets of pistons, one with, one without quasi-connectivity, or one set like we have now, and like have it toggleable into both states. Then extended connectivity and something like a Noop block, which should probably cover everything. With extended connectivity alone, that would not suffice. Special case slime block contraptions is a thing that not everything would be possible anymore with the push limit of 12. So 16 would sort of cover that, I guess, right?
Indeed.
And with extended connectivity, flying machines should still be working even without increasing the push limit. By the way, one thing that we know about the butt block yet is that it will be movable. So like it looks like.
And it will be a tile entity. So when the butt block is added to our MCP PC eventually, then moving tile entities would be added to pistons as well, I guess. Unless the movable is just something that's true for Pocket Edition. but I doubt it. I think the moving tile entity will come as well.
Another option, which I don't think they will do, but would be also an option, considering that the PC tech community is quite old, like 5 years or something, is leave PC as it is, sort of, as a special case because of the old community. Because let's talk about feature parity and
exactly.
content equality. The problem that I see here is like, you can't like compare a Pocket Edition with PC. Like you lag out with a few of entities, or you have to have like a lower render distance, or the way why they want like everything have the same game basically is what they said on Minecon 2015. I think it was Mr. Bergenstein Jeb said that they want to make it so that no matter what kind of platform you run Minecraft on, you can connect on the same server, basically. And I say, okay, that might be the case for some few servers, but if you have like a technical server with like bajillions of entities, you can't like play with it currently with Pocket Edition, right?
So the thing is, Jeb says here in this tweet that they're working towards having the same game on all platforms, and I think it's a bit up to interpretation what the same game exactly means, because I think you won't have the same render distance on Pocket Edition that you have on PC, and the spawn chunks might not be loaded on Pocket Edition, but they are on PC, and on the Xbox version, villagers might be kept to a limit of 50, which is not the case on PC. So just due to technical limitations, you will have differences in the game. So it's a bit questionable what exactly is meant with same game, and how unlikely it would be to get an exception there. Like that, for example, a Quasi-Connectivity would work on one, but I doubt that that's something they would want to do. I think they want to work towards having the same game, unless there is technical limitations, right? But it's still something like maybe there's a possibility that PC gets gets a special case. Who knows?
In any case, we know it also because of Backtracker Mojira. The PC code is a little bit untidy, messy, let me put it like that, and the other codes are really neatly and nice. And at some point, stuff will break, be it technical stuff or game mechanic stuff. It's just because they are cleaning up the code. Some other things will be fixed because of cleaning up the code, and it would be delusional to think that they would keep this in as it is a bug, right?
It's bugs will definitely get fixed, and they are working since I don't know how many versions now to clean up the Minecraft code. I guess basically since Minecraft 1.0 was released, right? Then with 1.3 they made the single player server merge. That was a huge step in the direction, and then after that, especially with 1.8 and 1.9 again, we get so much work in the direction of making everything more clean, and just making the whole code more clean, and getting proper systems in place, fixing the hitbox system and stuff like that. And
Mod API, a new mob AI. You know, consider that they can add so much more and better features as soon as the code is clean, and all we have to do now is not trying to cling on old bugs or that became features, but try to get something new, cool for the tech community.
Exactly.
I would say, right?
Things will break in the future of Minecraft. If you absolutely don't like it, you can just keep playing in the version you are in at the moment. But I think none of us can prevent that things will change and things will break. But I want to point at this statement again, because I didn't only see it in this Reddit post, I saw it several times. Mojang cares about not making things impossible. They care about keeping the game nice. And we should really see this statement as a chance. When they break things because they make something clean, they will try to add something in return. And we should see this as a chance to get more innovation in Redstone, which is really something that would be great again. To have something new to play with, like the butt block or the nub block. I can't stop bringing it up. The Noop block.
And it's just that's where you come into play, because you know Redstone probably way better than them. Like I said, no offense, but so just help them and say, hey, that would be like a cool feature that is still within vanilla, and let's like make make Redstone great again.
Oh God.
And one thing that I want to bring up, because it was also in as argument in the comments, from how I understand it, many people are upset because I have to bring it up, that Microsoft is making it like a business model of sorts, like making everything more simple, beneficial for the little kids, although it would be also benefiting to have like quasi-connectivity features, like I said in the beginning, that you can have like a more sophisticated thing. And I say, okay, we have to sort of like accept that the owner changed, that it's also no Microsoft, that they have their business plans that we don't know, and that it might also like involve simplifying some things, but keep in mind that they said they don't want to remove anything. They hate it if certain things would no longer be possible in Minecraft. So we have to figure out something to make it work for all sides, so that Microsoft can have the business, if that is a reason, one of those reasons, and whatever their reasoning is, we have to try to keep our stuff, even if it means to get new stuff and remove old stuff, as long as we don't really lose something, but get something new which could give us more opportunities to build new tech stuff, then would still be fine with me. But I had to bring it up regardless, because you know how internet community is, and also of course also concerned in that regard.
Also, I want to encourage everyone who has opinions or ideas on this whole thing to write it in the Reddit post. I'm sure some of the developers will also look over that, because they were really interested in it before. They are interested in what the community has to say. Stay nice. Like really, they listen to us, and the best way to keep it this way is to be nice to them. That doesn't mean that
you don't have to slime or anything.
Yeah, you don't have to slime, but you can honestly say, if you don't like the idea of a butt block, you can honestly say that. But like, don't hate, don't get mean.
Get impolite, don't get immature. You know, I don't know if you remember that there were some really mean people back then with Notch, and I blame you, all you meanies, he sold Moang to Microsoft because of that. So we don't know who Microsoft would sell us.
I would less worry about Microsoft selling us than developers quitting. But
yeah, just also want to point out, I'm also not sliming or anything. I also don't like some changes, be it like for Minecraft Survival or Minecraft Creative. But all that we can do is like not to whine around or to hate, even if we are enraged in the first moment, but to try to make them listen to us and to give them like cool alternatives to say, hey, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So we have to try to calm down and to come up with some really cool ideas.
So sorry that we got a bit more on the social psychological discussion here, but it's really important because
it's important because the community really was argumenting a lot with that.
Exactly, it is really important because we started this as a technical stream to look at it, but the arguments partially got really emotional, and it is important to consider these things as well. Also, someone just said, can someone please explain me what quasi-connectivity is? So I will explain it real quick, because at this point in the stream...
Watch the stream later.
I will still just say it real quick. So
we have like the thing below, you know. I mean,
I can just... Oh yeah, true. Do you want to explain it? It's good if different people explain it, because then you have different approaches to understand it. But I can also go over it again.
You said you don't understand it how I explain it. So
well, but you said you don't understand it how I explain it, or you don't find it.
Okay, I just say really quickly. Quasi-connectivity is a bug that became a feature about 3 years ago. The according bug post got resolved as works as intended back then, because the technical community liked what they could do with that bug. Defects pistons, dispensers and droppers, and allows them to be how would you say it? To be activated by a non-adjacent source of redstone power.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so that would be this would be the case if any of those blocks that are visualized here is powered. So for example, if I flick this lever here, you see this block is powered here, the redstone lamp, and the piston does not trigger. And if I now update the piston, for example, by placing a block here, then it extends all of a sudden. So now I remove the block again, nothing happens. I unpower it again, this block here, and the piston stays extended. And if I now update the piston again, so then it it detects again. So that's how I can understand it best. And you say it in different words.
Well, yeah, the way I like to explain quasi-connectivity by now, I read it in the Reddit discussion about it. I think it was someone replying to Redstone Helper explaining it, I think that way. And it's a really accurate way to explain it also from a code perspective. So you have a redstone lamp and it can be powered from all these blocks that I have marked with the red glass here. Like if I place a power source there, then it gets powered, right? And quasi-connectivity, well, a piston can also get powered normally, of course. That's when it gets powered normally. And quasi-connectivity is if the block on top would get powered. So if you have a redstone block on top and that redstone lamp gets powered somehow, then this block is powered by quasi-connectivity. Just that we are on the non-quasi-connectivity side, so that's
just
why
wanted to say, here's the brown side. I marked it. I was just, okay,
sorry.
Let him do it.
Let him fail.
I just wanted to make you laughing stock.
So, if this redstone lamp is powered, then the piston is powered by quasi-connectivity. And if it's unpowered, then, it's not powered by quasi-connectivity. It could still be powered from below here, but, if it isn't, then it would retract on an update. And,
we should also maybe mention update can be not only like placing or destroying a block, can be any other block change, for example, like hoeing a dirt block or activating redstone ore so it gets lit, or eating cake, melting something in the furnace. So those are all updates.
Yep. It's just really useful, for example, for melon farms where you can use the quasi-connectivity as well to get an update. Update detector, but block update detectors are not the only use of quasi-connectivity. Oh man, we are starting the whole thing from the beginning again. In 1 hour we will be here again. I tell you.
No, let's wrap this up here somehow.
Yeah. Actually, let's stay just here and talk about it real quick. So that no update is caused is one use of quasi-connectivity. The other one is that you can power pistons from. I'm on the wrong side again. That you can power pistons from 2 blocks above, like that. You can trigger 2 pistons at the same time, basically. And that is really useful in compact redstone and farms and stuff like that. That's the 2 uses, basically, of quasi-connectivity. That it doesn't cause an update, and that you can power pistons from further on top. And we are in the stream discussing what is possible thanks to that, what is not possible thanks to that, and what we would need to still have these possibilities without.
To have a proper replacement.
To have a proper replacement. And I think we were closer to wrapping it up when we were up here, so let's just get a layer higher again and try to end the stream here. Maybe we can give it a short moment and ask people if they have questions, and then answer a few questions maybe from chat, and after that we just end the stream, right? Because we didn't read that much chat during the entire stream, so let's just give a chance to ask questions here. So if you have a question or something you want to point out, just you can write it now and we will try to read it.
Stream delay. So I think that generally we covered everything that is here on the list, I guess. So like I said, the Reddit link will be in the video description, so please participate and give us some arguments.
Also, one thing I just want to mention, since we have to wait now anyways, the ideas and conclusions and suggestions we made here like and nothing final. It's really just ideas we give. That's the ideas we came up
that
with.
we had, or that the community had, and it's what I said. If you have any more input, any more suggestions or concerns or whatever, please tell them us. So in another stream we can like make a recap and say, hey, this and that was a new input, and it's a really cool thing because we can't like think of everything, you know.
Indeed, yeah. And also, you don't necessarily need to write it to us. You can also try to get it out via different ways. We are not the single source of everything quasi-connectivity here, not at all. We
but
are
the
just
Reddit post is a nice thing.
Yeah, the Reddit post
to have
is
it.
probably a nice thing to comment on there. But yeah, we are just showing our view on it, our ideas, the ideas that people brought to us. But by no means we want to make any decision for Mojang. Not at all. We just want to deliver ideas. One idea is adding 2 pistons. If they don't do that, that's completely fine. It's just one idea. One idea would be a Noop block. And if they don't do that, I can talk about the Noop block without starting to laugh, but it would be really amazing. If they don't do that, that's completely fine. And another, and combined with extended connectivity, of course, another idea would be to just keep quasi-connectivity and have a visual indicator, as I forgot who said that, but as it was just in the stream chat, to make it more understandable and remove it from droppers and dispensers because that's just weird. But yeah, that's all just different ideas, and they might be taken into consideration. They might not be. Both is fine with us.
One of my major reasons also to like invest so much time in it is that I saw that it is a really emotional topic for many people, that they are like upset. Oh, Moang is removing something, and although they didn't say it or something along these lines, I just want to keep it like really, really chill, so we can talk about options, because people were quite biased about how they were argumenting, and although I can really, really understand it, we should all really keep calm, come up with cool ideas, and get the pressure away.
So yeah, so we stress this whole thing again because it is important that we as a technical community present a nicer image than hateful little children who don't want to lose their toy. Like, to put it in a maybe a little bit rough words, but
or hateful big old children.
Yeah, or grumpy old men.
Bash on me.
Or grumpy old men, yeah. Little children or grumpy old men. But I asked for input from the chat, so we should now read the chat.
Yeah. I didn't see much aside from what is quasi-connectivity to troll us.
How feasible is it to have to give a piston visual indication when they are budded? I'm not sure. Like I can't really tell. I think it would be. It almost. I said it before. In this case, it would rather make sense to have a Noop block that has visual indication, because then you have the weird behavior coded out of pistons, which is I guess a lot more clean.
The ominous Noop block.
So yeah, I don't think it would be. I don't think the visual indication thing would be so feasible. But then again, if they decide to keep quasi-connectivity, that would possibly be something to make it more, like if they decide to keep it because they have it for so long, right? Then the visual indication might be something they want to do to make it more understandable. If that would be so from this perspective, it would be feasible. If you keep quasi-connectivity, then adding that would be a possibility. I think, but it wouldn't be something I would put my money on. Why do they use scheduled block updates for so many Redstone things? What would not work if they would just activate things on block update neighbor change when the Redstone state has changed from last time? Well, everything would happen instant then. They need delay, and for delay they need to use scheduled block updates, right? Hello? Please don't tell me I timed out now. Oh,
Just trolling you.
you guys are horrible.
No, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
I was
also
almost
horrible,
throwing down
maybe.
the headset and resetting my router. It was like everything is just silent and everything in game stopped moving. Okay, and I also don't see new chat. So there's just one logical explanation. I timed out. Okay, TeamSpeak didn't time out yet, but okay. But that's the thing. What you need scheduled updates for, right? To have delayed things like repeaters shouldn't power the front of them in the same ticks. They need a few ticks delay, so or 2 ticks delay if they're on the lowest setting. So that's what scheduled updates are used for. But what if you load the chunk again? Will that piston like unpower? Okay, I don't know what exactly that is related to, so I can't really answer it. I mainly see trolls. Like
Yeah,
not random
chat
trolls.
doesn't have any questions. It seems like
Yeah, I think we were
they
pretty
were
clear.
Yeah, they were discussing with each other. Maybe I got like thousands of replies now on the Reddit post. We will see.
Oh yeah. There's more input. Okay, sure. For torches is actually not sure what that relates to, but for torches it makes sense. But doesn't that now also have them for dispensers too, for example? And that's why the Redstone update order issue with dropper chains comes in. Okay, I think that's related to other discussions there. I think that wasn't. Generally for the chat, it makes it a lot easier for me if you have a question to write a @panda4994 there, so I can see it. Because otherwise I read all the sub conversations in chat and then miss the actual questions. Okay, I won't read that out. Bashing different communities, please don't do that. Be nice.
Reddit post. I will link it to you again. Un momento.
What is the most creative use of quasi-connectivity? I don't know. Most creative. That's a weird. Quasi-connectivity is just so basic that you can use it for so many things that you can go infinitely creative with it.
The most creative one is the one we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
It's the next one that you come up with.
Rube Goldberg machine, wouldn't it?
Well, true. They could build in a lot of quasi-connectivity.
So again, if you want to fiddle around with this mod that puts your world, or this world if you want to download it, into two halves, one with, one without quasi-connectivity, you can download the mod. It's linked in the Reddit post. I just linked in the chat. And you can fiddle with your own contraptions, so you can come up with some cool new arguments, ideas, concepts, whatever you like, that you could present maybe then to Moang, Microsoft, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, because
So
you can't cover everything.
there was another question which is, I think, a bit ironic or sarcastic. So this stream is for people who don't know what QC is, probably because we explained it again. It's for everyone. Like, it's for new players who are interested in getting into that stuff, and it's also for the technical community. To tell us their ideas. So that's why we explain it over and over again, even though most people probably know it by now. But there's also new players in here, and we don't want to leave them out. We want to tell them, hey, look, this also concerns you. You might have trouble understanding this, and learn about it. What do you think about it? Like,
also keep in mind that there are YouTubers who will be complaining that maybe quasi-connectivity will be removed, and they got like fans, and even though they might not understand Redstone, they will be like, oh, my idol says this is a bad thing that it gets removed, and because they don't understand it, and they just simply believe what those YouTubers say. So
indeed, so
it's good.
We
hope explain what it is.
If we explain it over and over again, we hope to educate people about it, so that they don't just blindly follow other people's decisions, but actually can make up their own minds. And again, it's also important. If you are one of those people, like don't try to read any opinion into what we say, or don't take our opinions, but actually look at the things we present and think about it yourself and try to find your own conclusion what you think about it. Like don't just follow the crowd.
Yeah, I also intentionally took also a lot the pro Quasi-Connectivity stance today, so Panda could be like the evil anti.
I actually wasn't the evil one this stream that much, right? I was I was a lot more last time. Well, against droppers and dispensers, but who cares about droppers and dispensers?
Yeah,
Let's be serious.
not many people.
So I can be the
It's
evil
a
in this case.
Pistons.
But I think for the Pistons, I was actually not that much anti Quasi-Connectivity this time. But last time I needed to be, because CubeHamster strongly took the other side, so to balance it out, I was a bit stronger on the anti-Quasi-Connectivity, and I think it worked out pretty well last time as well, when we had this discussion between us going back and forth, basically. Be like, but the 1 pixel display, which is possible, but yeah.
But keep in mind, we don't think that this will be a thing for 1.10 for the PC version. Maybe 1.11 or something after they tested everything out in the PE version. So like I said before, don't freak out if you see any changes in PE and think, wow, this will come now also a thing in PC. They just test out stuff in different platforms before they have at some point content equality or feature parity, whatever it will be. So just stay chill and try to support to have that kind of Minecraft that I would love to have.
So there was just a question. Instant droppers, if they... Okay, I can't count. I tried to count to 6, but it didn't work.
That's something new to me, that you can't count.
So it was asked if instant droppers are based on Quasi-Connectivity, and we are on the non-Quasi-Connectivity side, and this is an example how you could make instant droppers. So you can see it shoots the items from back here right out to the front, and doesn't use Quasi-Connectivity. I think there also is designs which use Quasi-Connectivity, but it's also possible without it, because you can use the update order of, for example, slime blocks, which always will start with the furthest away here, update this line, then this line, and also always from front to back, and go till over here. And then you can rely on that update order for instant droppers, for example. There's also other ways, but this is an easy one, and I thought I would just show it to show that instant droppers are not only based on Quasi-Connectivity, or not only possible with Quasi-Connectivity, but also without. Oops, let's get up again.
Question: if Quasi-Connectivity is gone but butt block is added, what becomes impossible? The problem is, well, we can say, what if Quasi-Connectivity was gone and nothing else would be added? We discussed it very thoroughly, so you can catch up the stream video later on Panda's YouTube. But we don't know how the game will change really if as soon as the butt block is being added, because we don't know anything about the butt block yet, aside from really few things. So we can't really just make assumptions, right?
Well, yeah, we can really just make assumptions at this point. It depends on if they remove Quasi-Connectivity, so that this wouldn't happen anymore. Or if they replace it with extended connectivity, that would be one thing that heavily depends on, like that. Like we won't know how these things would get changed, so we can only speculate at the moment that under the assumption that a butt block is added which reacts instantly as movable by pistons and that stuff, and we have extended connectivity instead of Quasi-Connectivity, then this and that would happen. So there would be a lot of different scenarios we could think through now, and we talked about a few during the whole stream, but yeah, we can't go into too much detail about that now, because I could think of probably at least 5 different scenarios what they could do with the butt block and the Quasi-Connectivity, and then there's different combinations, so you could speculate about that forever, basically. And
install Windows 10. Install Windows 10. Get
won't.
an NDA. Get the butt block. No,
I
won't do that. Any more?
Okay,
What do you
I think
mean?
I think QC or not, what matters most is that whatever Mojang does, it should be one, consistent, be cleaner on the code side, and three, remove bugs. Yeah, I think that's what they try, and
Yeah.
that's what they are working towards for a long time now. And I think also from how I perceive it, the Pocket Edition is their way to try to get rid of bugs that used to be in PC for a long time, and see how it would be possible to make the game still fun, and also make Redstone still fun, and give the same possibilities without having it as buggy as it is in PC.
We love our bugs. We should also say that, like, I don't know, 99% of your channel is like relying on bugs.
Oh, definitely. Actually, I thought before the stream, I thought about if we should maybe introduce ourselves and explain real quick who we are, because we didn't do that last time, and I thought it might actually be a good thing to do, because not everyone might know us, and it might be interesting to know a bit of the background. And I was thinking, okay, how would I describe myself? I would probably describe myself as abusing bugs to the maximum. So, yeah, it's definitely we are definitely people who play with bugs and like bugs as well, but
Yeah.
or like to play with bugs as well. But when you base some designs on bugs, you should always be aware that they will break at some point, and that there's no point and no good in crying that the bug got fixed. Then rather try to live with whatever you get afterwards. And I also said that in the last Panda Survival episode, because I have the feeling that often people get quite upset when these things break. But what do we expect if we just build all the things that we build completely based on bugs? And it's not even that we use the bugs because we have to in many cases, but it's often that we just use the bugs because it's more fun, and because it makes things more compact and
easier, faster.
Not easier, but faster and well. Sometimes also easier maybe, but usually the bugs are harder to understand. It's maybe easier to build up then, but it's harder to understand what's going on. It's just super compact and weird and works for some reason then.
But the technical community loves to exploit bugs, like the game mechanics community, of course. And so at some point, if all bugs will be squashed, we will be really, really sad. It will take still a while. You see it on the bug tracker. There are really many bugs still, but yeah, I will be... Who is around? Stop fish rodding me.
Okay, so it was just asked what I mean by extended connectivity, and that was something which was brought up on Reddit, and I forgot who brought it up. It was Redstone Helper. No, I didn't forget who brought it, but Redstone Helper was bringing it up. And I think it's something that's worth adding to this discussion. That's why I explained it now again, because removing quasi-connectivity might not mean what we think it does in the sense of this world, where on this side a piston just won't get affected by the block diagonally on top of it, and on this side it would get powered, right? It might mean that the block still gets affected by it, but also receives an update. And I simulate extended connectivity over here, and this is would be what we would call extended connectivity. That the piston still gets triggered by the block, 2 blocks on top, but will also receive an update. So other than if I do it over here where I don't simulate the extended connectivity, where it then would be in a budded state, it will receive an update as soon as the block 2 blocks on top is placed, or the block diagonally on top of it is placed. And that's the term extended connectivity. Again, brought up by Redstone Helper. Also, the term was coined by him, I think. So credits for Hilfer.
For his help, yeah. On the Reddit post link before. Again in the chat.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, what's still?
I think we can wrap it up here. I don't see anything.
Zero sticks would still be possible just by relying on other bugs, which might be fixed one day as well, though.
Oh yes, zero ticks would be really possible with a Noop block. Okay.
With a Noop block. Stop the Noop block here.
I know I'm really bad. I shouldn't. It's
Yeah. So without quasi-connectivity, it's often messier, bigger, sometimes not working at all anymore. Like really large redstone contraptions, doors, giant slime block constructions, sophisticated redstoning, like having having something really complicated, maybe a little bit, but which makes things more compact and more simple. On the other way, that would be gone without quasi-connectivity. Just don't make the game too simple. Is here like what the majority of the community says. Don't simplify it too much, or like someone called it, don't push us back into the stone age of Minecraft Redstone. It would be like a step backwards. So if you do it, please give us a replacement. You can't not always just take stuff, give it, like lapis block texture from 3 years ago.
Okay, remove quasi-connectivity and give the lapis block texture back in return. I'm sure no one will be upset about that.
No, absolutely not.
Well, you can buy Mario with. If they were to add some sort of zero-tick block or a zero-tick repeater block, what do you think would be an appropriate cost for this block? What rare material should be required to make it? I don't know. It's like a zero-tick repeater sounds like something really weird to make it like in a single block.
Too dangerous to be available in creative.
Yeah, that's. I don't doubt they would do that at all, and I couldn't think of. Can't think of a crafting recipe at the moment. But I think we should wrap this stream up, because at this point we are just rambling and even the viewers started dropping now. So I think it's a good time to end. We probably stressed the end way too much already. Talked a lot about being nice.
Watch
and
the stream again, and like the video will be on Panda's YouTube channel, so we can recap. Please participate in the.
Yeah, I think we said all the things. I think we
Discussion.
should just what we should just do is say goodbye and then end the stream. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for your input. And thanks for watching if you watch on YouTube. And see you in another stream or video or something. So goodbye.
Yeah, bye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Cabo, say goodbye.
I think we
Cabo?
lost Cabo.
Cabo is sleeping.
He
Okay.
fell asleep because we talked so long.
Goodbye,
Okay.
Cabo.
Goodbye stream.
Yeah, bye.
Goodbye video.